3 hours.
Oh, no. So after talk, 3 chairs, we'll stop it. And then the Vietnamese people will come in, and then the Vietnamese talk is after that.
Okay.
So
Do you think we start too early? Because it's... Well, actually, no.
I usually start at 6.
Almost
so,
time. Almost time.
Wait, do you have your phone? Can you check the Chuklam page quickly?
Okay, it's live right now.
Hello, hi. Awesome.
You can hear the noises.
Live right now.
Oh.
What? Oh no, I don't. Just leave it up there.
Oh.
That's fine. I can edit it. I'm supposed to do this.
Yeah, Phil's good to see you. I remember when you had your place over still in town? Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to too. Hey, how's it doing? Been out there for a while? Yeah. I'm retired after 40 years at UPS, so I have a little trailer and my dog, and I've gone out west for a couple months at a time, several times. See most of the national parks. It's still hot. I have some back issues, but at least if I'm up straight, I can do that. It's bending over, try to be careful. Yeah. I swim in the process. I used to be a runner, but that's not in the cards anymore. Oh, I just got, it took me 8 months, 7 or 8 to get over it, and I found over. I went to the clinic, and at that point, I kept thinking it was going to go away.
That's what I could do. I probably could do
I thought about that.
so much better.
I was getting ready to do that, but I just finally got over it. The odd thing is, the thing that felt best is wearing Crocs today. So I wore Crocs just about everywhere. And was after running on your feet all day.
Go.
Well, enjoy
Get off the restaurant.
Ok. Chỗ này cho tiếng.
Thầy gọi cho đó.
Hey, do you want me to adjust it to make it, more centered?
Yeah, sure. I do it the way you did it before.
Dạ dạ.
Để cái chân nó nằm ngang, hai cái nó nằm ngang, con xoay cái này lại để người ta đi, người ta dướng một cái giống như chú để giống vậy nè. Hai cái mặt này nó nằm ngang giống vậy. Để cho nó không dướng, người ta đi, người ta đá cái nó hư không đó.
Cảm ơn chú. Được chứ chú?
Được con. Này, vậy cho người ta đi nó không dướng mình. Không, nếu mà được con để vô đây nè, bỏ vô cái chân.
Không, mà tại nó con muốn cho nó ngay chính giữa luôn á chú.
Ngay chính giữa, ok.
Dạ.
I was thinking about you, and I was thinking about. Oh. Yeah, I needed to get I thought I was making a video, and really, like, they were all moving and talking, and then I decided just to go. No, it was just mental. I mean, I wanted to know.
Big blessing.
Right next to Mitchell High School. Oh, yeah, it's right. Yeah, the park is right there on the other side of the I think where? No, they weren't. Stop it. And I was looking for the side of the park.
I'm here.
Watch out. That was exactly like a They get paid for doing
best. Yes. Hi, everyone. Good evening. Welcome to Crosstown Concourse and to Crosstown Theater. My name is Todd Richardson, and I'm just really glad you're here. Thank you for being curious, and thank you for coming tonight. I think we're going to have a really special night. In addition to welcoming you, I just wanted to let you know, October is a special time around here. We work with the Vietnamese community to do a number of different things around Mid-Autumn Festival, which is usually around the first weekend of October. It's a celebration of the brightest moon of the year. It's also a harvest festival. And this year was special because it's around 50 years since the Vietnamese community has come to Crosstown. Thanks to the work of Catholic Charities in the 70s of relocating refugees from across the world. That was the time when the Vietnamese community came, and because Catholic Charities is in Crosstown, the Vietnamese community really grew up in this area. I'm going to introduce Karina Pham in just a bit. Her family came in 1978. It was her parents that started the Viet Hoa Market, if you know the Viet Hoa Market. It was also her parents who started and built the Buddhist temple that's on Jefferson Avenue. And so in addition to Mid-Autumn Festival, we thought it would be a great opportunity to bring awareness to other aspects that are happening all the time, not at Crosstown. Karina's family owns the Bao Tuan restaurant. If you've been to Bao Tuan, it's a wonderful new addition to Concourse. Also owns the Gloss Nail Bars here in Memphis. So carrying on that entrepreneurial spirit that her parents did. This past Saturday, we had a sold-out group of about 25 folks. Karina gave us a tour of the Buddhist temple on Jefferson Avenue. We then went up to the second floor and had a meditation together. And then we went from there to the Viet Hoa Market, where we got a tour and bought all the ingredients for a dinner that we then brought back to the Church Health Teaching Kitchen. And we had a Vietnamese chef lead a culinary lesson, which was a wonderful time to learn more about Vietnamese cuisine, but also make some new friends. And so then tonight is the culmination of those activities where we have some special guests from Edmonton, Canada. Thầy, who's an abbot of a monastery there that I know Karina will tell you more about. So tonight what's going to happen is we're going to have a meditation together. And then Karina will come up and introduce to you Thầy Pháp. And then after that, Tom Shadiak, who's a local movie producer, writer, director. But for tonight, the reason that I've asked him to be here is because I just have so much respect for his practice, his spirituality, and meditation. And I thought he would be a great facilitator of some discussion. And then also joining us tonight will be Reverend Dr. Jason Turner, who's the pastor at Mississippi Boulevard. He's been there for about 13 years. I consider him a great friend and also someone that I have a lot of respect for around his religious and spiritual practice. So they will come up after the talk, after Thầy Phap's talk, and they will have a discussion, and there'll be some Q&A, and we'll wrap up around here between 7:30 and 7:45. What's really great is after you guys all leave, the Vietnamese community is going to come in, and at 8 o'clock, Brother Peter and Thầy Pháp are going to do it all over again. So that's pretty amazing. So thank you again for being here. Thank you for your curiosity, and I'm going to turn it over to Brother Peter.
So thank you, Todd and Stacy and Karina for organizing this special session with everyone. I have to admit, I'm a little bit nervous. I don't really sit in front of a lot of people, but Todd just told me to be myself, and so I'll try my best to share my practice and experience with all of you. Does anyone know where Edmonton is? Anyone? I know a little bit. So it's a smaller city in Canada, and my teacher, Thầy, just arrived this morning from Toronto after a series of Dharma talks in Canada. And so in a minute, my teacher will be giving the official Dharma talk, but before then, I would like to invite you to practice a little bit of quiet sitting, just to calm your mind before the Dharma talk. So to begin, I'd like to invite all of you to find a stable posture. If you're, we're all sitting on a chair. Usually we'll sit on a mat cushion, but today on a chair, having your 2 feet planted solidly on the ground. As for your hands, you can leave on your knees or on your lap. And you may close your eyes. I know it's a little bit late, but if you're feeling a little bit drowsy, you can open them halfway, looking down the bridge of your nose. So after maybe a long day, it's a good time for us to come back to ourselves. And we do this by focusing onto our breathing. Our breath is always readily available, but we rarely take the time to be aware of it. So at this moment, we invite you to be aware as you breathe in. Know that you're breathing in. And as you're breathing out, know that you're breathing out. For a couple moments, just notice your in-breath and your out-breath. In, out. If it's difficult to focus onto your breathing, you may count your breath. In, out, 1. In, out, 2. And continue to 10. And then start over. Of course, during a time of stillness like this, there may be thoughts that may arise, and that's okay. Just kind of recognize it. Let go of those thoughts, and then come back to your gentle breathing. We will begin with the 3 sounds of the bell, followed by a short guided meditation to help us ease us into meditation. And today's topic of meditation is about the body, relaxing the body and calming the body. We know that as we sit here, this is not a chore. This is something that we need. Noticing our breath and ultimately knowing that we are alive. Being aware of our fellow practitioners surrounding us. And you may convey a light smile on your face, if you like. Breathing in, I am fully aware of my in-breath. Breathing out, I am fully aware of my out-breath. In-breath, out-breath. There is no need to shorten or make our breath longer. Breathing naturally as you are. If you have a short breath, let it be a short breath. If you have a long breath, let it be a long breath. Breathing in, my breath grows deep. Breathing out, my breath goes slowly, deeply, slowly. Breathing in, I am aware of my body. Breathing out, I relax my whole body. Aware of body, relaxing body. So, dear Thầy, dear community, you may open your eyes and stretch if you like. How was that? Was that okay? So today's program, Todd was briefly mentioned how we will do, we're a little bit late on time. We started a little bit later, but we'll try to finish on time. I will share an orientation before the Dharma talk. Afterwards, we'll have a round table and then the Vietnamese Dharma talk. So you can get to the next slide. So before we begin, maybe we can do a sing meditation. Meditation has a lot of different, there's meditation of eating, sitting, but I'd like to teach you a song that we can remind ourselves about the present moment. It's not too long, but we'll sing it all together. Does anyone know this song at all? Has anyone been to Magnolia Grove Monastery? Some of you? Okay. So maybe you can help me sing with this song together. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. I am blooming as a flower. I am fresh as the dew. I am solid as a mountain. I am firm as the earth. I am free. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. I am water reflecting what is real, what is true. And I feel there is space deep inside of me. I am free, I am free, I am free. So the melody's not too hard, so we can all sing it one more time. There's actually actions to this song, but unfortunately I'm holding one of the mic, so I can only show it with one hand. Maybe you can follow along. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. I am blooming as a flower. I am fresh as the dew. I am solid as a mountain. I am firm as the earth. I am free. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. I am water reflecting what is real, what is true. And I feel there is space deep inside of me. I am free, I am free, I am free. So, thank you everyone. I don't know if you know what this is. This is a lotus flower. We would offer lotuses to each other instead of clapping. So, it's one of the things that we can offer to each other, not just. So, maybe the next slide. So first I'd like to introduce a brief introduction of who I am. I came into the monastery when I was 11 years old. I'm 37 this year, believe it or not. But I have had a chance to be with my teacher Thầy. When I was quite young, I didn't know what being a monk was about. I didn't even know that was an option. And so when I first came into the monastery, I saw how my teacher Thầy, you'll see in a minute, how he lived and how he helped a lot of people with teaching and sharing his practice and experience with everyone. And so I really wanted to follow in my teacher's footsteps. This is my teacher is in the middle. That was me maybe 10, 15 years ago when I didn't know what burgers were like. And that is the Zen master, Thích, who has a monastery about an hour away and is also one of my great teachers. And aside from being, doing my monk duties and my monk stuff, I also love hockey. As a Canadian, I really do like hockey, and so that's one of my other hobbies is going skating with my brothers and creating brotherhood. So just a little brief overview of who I am, who was talking to you. Yeah. So let me go to the next slide. And so today, today I'd like to share with you a brief overview about what it means to be mindful, the what, the why, the how, the when, and the where. And so, earlier when we practice quiet sitting, I think the world needs a little bit of time to come back to herself. And I'd like to share a little bit more about the practice of mindfulness. So I know this is a very long definition of mindfulness, but this is from the Zen master Thích. Mindfulness is a kind of energy that we generate when we bring our mind back to our body and get in touch with what is going on in the present moment, within us and around us. We become aware of our breathing and come home to our body, fully present for ourselves in whatever we are doing. And so, with mindfulness, there's also, I don't know if any of you have heard the word mindful. A lot of us are preoccupied with projects, with our past and the future, and we don't really have the time to be present. And so when we use our breath to help us be present, it helps us to calm down and to live life a little bit more meaningful. When we practice mindfulness, there's this shift in our perspective. We see everything differently. We understand each other a little bit more. And so with mindfulness, in Vietnamese, it means mindfulness, chánh niệm. Chánh is right, niệm is to recall. And when we talk about mindfulness, it can be, going to the casino and doing mindful gambling, but of course that's not the right mindfulness, right? So when we talk about the right mindfulness, that mindfulness has to incorporate concentration and insight, which the Zen master always shares about. Nowadays, mindfulness is, I believe, such a buzzword. It's used everywhere. It's over-commercialized. And so whenever you go to a bookstore, you'll see a lot of mindfulness books. You'll see a lot of those. It's used in sports, in many different contexts. And it's not necessarily wrong, but sometimes I think it's missing that spiritual part. And every religion, every faith and belief has mindfulness. It's maybe something different. It could be contemplative prayer, for example, in Christianity, or in other religions has some form of mindfulness. And so today I wanted to share how during the Buddha's time, before the Buddha was the Buddha, he was a prince, Siddhartha, and he was just a young boy, and this is kind of the first instance of how he was mindful. There was a festival or harvest season, and he noticed that the machine, or did he use machines back then? He used animals to churn up the ground, and he sat under a tree called the rose apple tree. And he sat under that tree, and he was just a boy. And he noticed, the worms were getting caught up in the feet, and then birds were coming in and swooping in and trying to eat those worms. So he noticed there's a lot of suffering in the world, and there's a lot of mindfulness has to have the aspect of insight. So I will share a little bit more about this in the coming slides. So why should we practice mindfulness? First, to truly be present, to practice stopping and reflecting, understanding and transformation of our suffering, thinking less, and understanding ourselves more deeply. So coming to the first point, truly being present. How many of us are really present? How many are on autopilot? How many are just going through the actions or habits? There's a story about during the Buddha's time how there was a man on a horse, and he went through the village, and the people in the village were asking, "Where are you going?" And the man on the horse just said, I'm just going wherever the horse is going. And so usually that's how our lives is like. We're just kind of going through those habits, and we don't really know what we're doing. We could be washing dishes, but we could be thinking about different other things. And so helping us being mindful means to be present. And to do that, we have to be in the here and now, 100%. When I was taking a psychology of meditation class back in university, one of the very simple meaning of mindfulness was a kid stopping an argument on the playground. It could be as simple as that. Being able to stop and to understand that maybe stopping is one of an option that we can do. And so once we stop, then we can have actions after that's more reflective, and it comes from a source that is calm and at peace. Like I said, understanding and transformation of our suffering. How many of us suffer and we get drowned in chasing desires? If we got our heart broken or something, we try to find ice cream or the next romantic flick or something to watch. So we always find other things to cover up that suffering. In our practice, we want to first stop and understand where are those roots of suffering coming from. And so understanding and transformation of suffering is one of the why we practice mindfulness. Thinking less. It's not, us humans, we're always thinking, but thinking less as in we're not thinking about getting carried away by the past, by the future. And understanding ourselves more deeply. So that is the why. And how do we become mindful? So we did that earlier with the quiet sitting. But please understand that being mindful is not just sitting on a mat and cushion. I think we have to understand that it could be every aspect of our lives. The moment that we wake up, that's when we can practice mindfulness. And what is important is that we're consistent. When I first started learning how to skate, ice skating is a big milestone in Canada. When you first learn how to skate, you always look down. You always look down at your skates because you're afraid of falling. But after a while, you get used to it, and then it just becomes so natural. You put on your skates, and then you just glide all over the ice. And so with mindfulness, it's also the same. It's not something that you can do and then off and then on and then off. But it's like a muscle in our body. We have to keep practicing it. And it doesn't mean we have to sit on hours on end for hours, 5-6 hours, but little moments. For example, if we can start the day with 10 minutes of quiet sitting to ourselves, even less. My teacher always shares that with young people, to sit on their bed and to do quiet sitting and focusing onto your breathing before you go to sleep. Because you know that we're always on our phones before we're about to go to sleep, right? So when we're able to practice quiet sitting before sleep, it can bring more restful sleep. And so with mindfulness, we try to meditate little moments in our lives. Zen Master Thích always shares that we can become, we might not become 24-hour Buddha, but we become part-time Buddhas. And so little moments in our lives, from the moment we wake up, the moment we walk to our car, or in our office space, we can always practice little moments of mindfulness and meditation. Washing the dishes, even going to the washroom, those are little moments that we can practice mindfulness. And it means to be aware and knowing what we're doing, because that's what we don't know what we're doing, we're just always on autopilot. So we use the breath as a way to anchor our mind. They say that our mind is like the monkey mind. It's always jumping from one branch to another branch. And so we use the breath to help us anchor ourselves. I share daily practice, which is consistency in our practice, and finding a sangha. I just recently knew about how Zen Master usually talked about the beloved community. And that was straight from Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., which I did not know until I read up on the history. And so having a community to practice with is also very beneficial. If we're practicing by ourselves, we make up excuses all the time. We say that, I'll practice later. But if you go to a community, a sangha means community, we practice together with others, then it helps facilitate our practice more. So when and where can we be mindful? And so I shared a little bit about this earlier. It's all the time. So we can do this all the time. From the moment we wake up until we sleep, we can be mindful. What is important is consistency and little moments in our lives from the moment we wake up, even walk to the car, etc. And mindful eating, which is kind of my favorite. Mindful eating when we eat and we talk and that's fine. But sometimes in our monastery, we can take some time to eat in silence for the first 5-10 minutes to first really enjoy the food. We're always eating but not really enjoying the love and care from someone who has cooked this food in front of us, and also where that food is coming from. And so when we're mindful eating, we usually practice, it's called 5 contemplations. I don't have it on the screen yet, but that's something you can look for. So how does this lead to concentration and insight? Of course, concentration means focus. Once we are mindful, automatically we have this energy of concentration. When we are mindful of our breath, we are focusing onto our breathing. And so with the breath, the more we practice, the more insight we have. And so these 3 energies, mindfulness, concentration, and insight, this is a screenshot of the Zen Master in one of his Dharma talks. Smriti is mindfulness, Samadhi is concentration, and Prajna is insight. So within mindfulness, it envelops concentration and insight. And insight here can be as simple as knowing that we're alive. So simple, but sometimes we forget that we're alive, and sometimes the people around us, we're maybe on our phones or not really present for them. And so when we practice mindfulness, concentration, insight, the 3 energies, all of a sudden we become more and more mindful of ourselves, but also the ones who are around us. And so once we know that one day they may perish, that we don't live in regret. We know that monks, we go to the funerals many, many times, especially in my monastery in Thai. And every time you go to a funeral, it's a mindfulness bell. It's called a mindfulness bell. It's for Thầy always reminds us that our loved ones can be with us today, but we can't guarantee that they'll be there tomorrow. So always live in the present. Always live as if you don't know. You can't guarantee that they'll be there the next day. And so teachings like impermanence and interbeing, and I know that I'm kind of glossing through this, but this is something that you can find on your own. There's many Dharma talks on YouTube. With impermanence, we know that everything is always changing. We suffer because we think that everything's permanent. The love for someone that we have is always everlasting, but it's not like that at all. There's so many things. When we look at a flower, it's very beautiful today, but we know that it will wither and die in the future. And so in this present moment, we realize the beauty of the flower, and we cherish it. We cherish it, and we really be present for it. So where can we practice? I know some of the monastics at Magnolia Grove Monastery. This is a picture of Martin Luther King and Zen Master Thích. And there's a beautiful statue at Magnolia Grove Monastery. And so this is continuing from the talk, the sharing about finding a community or a sangha. I believe there's many communities in Memphis and other parts of the United States that you can find to practice with. I know some of the monastics down there, and they're very loving, very beautiful human beings. And so if you are interested in retreats, Day of Mindfulness, you can go on their website. As for myself and my teacher Thầy, we are based in Canada. So if you're interested, we have a Facebook page called the Edmonton Buddhist Research Institute. And so we're from a very small city in Edmonton. So next, my teacher will be giving the next portion of the Dharma talk. So at this moment, I'd like to just share a few moments, pictures of my teacher, Thầy. This is from 2004. My teacher and the Zen Master in the hut in Deer Park, District Deer Park Monastery in San Diego. And this is a recent photo from the fall retreat of my teacher. And one of the things that I really respect is the way my teacher shares her practice. It's very down to earth, relatable, and I always see that the Zen Master Thích sharing is always the heart of what my teacher is also sharing. And so I've lived with my teacher for almost 26 years. And I see not just as a teacher, but as also a father, a spiritual father. And I'm very happy that my teacher will be giving the next Dharma talk after this. And so this is a very old photo. I don't know if you know who I'm right here. That was back then. We were always gathered in my teacher's room to sit together, and sometimes we have a little bit of sleepovers with my teacher. And this is also another old photo of some of the brothers and monastics. My teacher always talks about building brotherhood and building a community, and so we try our best to be together and to practice together. Sometimes my teacher always shares that he gets lonely because when he was growing up, he didn't have a lot of monastic siblings, and so I'm very fortunate to have my brothers and sisters to practice with. And so next we'll invite Thầy to give the Dharma talk. But before then, Mrs. Karina will be giving a formal introduction of Thầy. Yeah. Thank you, everyone.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is with great honor and deep gratitude that we welcome Venerable Thích, a beloved Buddhist teacher known around the world for his gentle presence, compassionate heart, and wisdom that touches the soul. Thầy has dedicated his life to spreading peace, mindfulness, and understanding. Through his joyful teachings, he reminds us that happiness can be found in each mindful moment, and that true peace begins within ourselves. His words are simple yet profound, bringing clarity to our minds and warmth to our hearts. Tonight, we are very fortunate to have him here to guide us, to uplift us, and to help us reconnect with our inner light. Please join me in welcoming Venerable Thích with our deepest respect and appreciation.
Good evening, brothers, sisters, and friends. Today is Thursday, October 23rd, the year 2025. It is an honor for me to be here this evening to meet all the brothers and the sisters, and thank you for allowing me to share some of my practice with you, so you also can apply in our daily life. And first of all, I would like to thank you, Mr. Todd Richardson and Sister Thao, who able to contact us and make this day possible. And I would like to welcome you all, and I hope that you enjoy the evening. So how are you today? Good? Yeah. So today we are very happy to be at the Crosstown Theater in Memphis, Tennessee. I was visit this city since the year 2000, when I visited the small temple in I think Jefferson Road. Am I correct? Yeah, that's back 2000, the year 2000. And since then, I have a few chances to come back a few times, and my last one will be in 2010. And then I come back here just maybe a year ago. So after more than 10 years, I'm busy with many other places, and I'm able to come back here to visit some of the monks that I knew many years ago. And today, I'm happy to be here, and I have seen that many of you have made your time and to be here with us this evening. And earlier, you have learned from Brother Peter, one of my elder students, share about mindfulness practice. And as you know that mindfulness is the heart of the Buddhist practice. And the topic today is how to be calm in this busy world. Actually, this world is busy or not, it depends on how we view things. So there was a young man who climbed on the mountain every day to break some rocks, and he will sell those rocks for living. So of course his job, he have to work under the sunshine a lot to break the rocks. And then one day he's so tired under the sunshine, and he thought, wow, this is a very hard job. I wish that I can be a sunshine. So it's very, very powerful. So his wish has touched one of the angels' hearts there, around there. So the angel satisfied his wish. And the angel turned him into the sunshine. So he become a very powerful sunshine. But later on, there was a piece of cloud cover the sunshine. And he said, oh, I thought the sunshine will be the most powerful now. Something can cover the light of the sun. So he wished that he can become the cloud. So one more time, the angel satisfied his wish, turned him into a piece of thick cloud. Not too much later, there is a strong wind blow the piece of cloud vanish, and he thought, oh, the wind will be more powerful. So he wished to become the wind. And now he become the wind. He can blow the cloud away, a lot of things away, but not the mountain. So he thought, now I can realize the mountain will be the most powerful one. Nothing can blow the mountain away. So I wish I can become the mountain. So one more time, he become the mountain. But every day we see there's a young man who climb on the mountain and break the rocks. And now he thought, oh, my old job is the most powerful one. I wish I can become the man who break rocks every day. Can you see a busy world? Can you see a busy man? Busy doesn't mean we have no job. Busy doesn't mean we are lazy. So not to be lazy is mean not to be busy doesn't mean we have no job to do. Not to be busy, that doesn't mean we just stay home and be lazy. But we understand and enjoy what are we doing. In Vietnamese or Chinese, we used to call hoạt động. Hoạt means living. Động means moving. As long as you're still a human, we need to move. If not, we cannot move anymore. We call died. So once we're still alive, we need to move. And moving is to show that you're active. Just like a baby. If the baby is not active, that means he is not well. He is sick. But if the baby active, we know this is a healthy baby. So in Buddhist view, when we talk about not busy, that means we are not busy in the mind and too much comparison. But we do able to enjoy and understand what are we doing. Every tiny job can benefit for this world. None of the job that's called, useless.
every tiny thing. Even this tiny stick, it still helps us to hear the sound of the bell. If I have the bell here, I don't have this stick to invite the bell, to make the sound, then this stick cannot play his job. So the job of this stick is to make the sound. That's why I always appreciate even all the young boys, young girls, all the young novices who live in my monastery. Sometimes the kids play around and we will say, hey, why are you here? You just keep us, you just block us, move away, run away, don't do it. But when somebody ring the door of the doorbell, they run so fast and open the door. So to be calm, we're still active, but we relax on the job we do. We enjoy what we are doing. That doesn't show the busy at all. People used to call me a busy monk because I always have things to do. Always. And I always have, even I'm back home, I still have something to do. When I travel for public talk or retreats, besides the schedule has been set, I also have so many things, join in. For example, people will come for 20 minutes counseling. They want me to visit the patient in the hospital, etc. I'm happy to do so. Because everything I do, I know at least I make people happy in that moment when they really need it, especially when they're in these kind of cases. Their parents, their loved ones sick, or when they have a lot of things that hold inside of them. They need somebody to sit there and listen to them. Sometimes you sit there with nothing, we don't do anything, just sit there and listen to someone sharing. It is also the way to release people. You're already blessed. So that's why in Buddhism we have a bodhisattva called Avalokiteshvara. She is the one who willing to sit and listen to the cries of us. Every time when we have problem, we wish to find someone that able to hear us, understand us, and if nicer, if they can give us the advice. If not, at least somebody to listen to us. When we are practicing meditation, it's a great medication to heal a lot of anxiety, a lot of sorrows that are within us. Actually, the outside world, it depends on how is the world within us. Every one of us we have a small world here. Because sometimes you are sitting here, but we travel many other countries. We travel so many places. And if we have enough mindfulness, we cultivate the mindful of viewing. So we view things more easy, more calm, and we don't make the things become, seriously a big problem. When we have the view of love, the view of understanding, things will be different. For example, sometimes we're late for the flight, and because due to the problem of the crowd, instead of angry, why don't we bring the light of understanding? First, we're lucky they found out what's wrong with the craft before they take off. What happened if they take off and there is a problem? So bring up the eyes and the heart of understanding. And what else? We're lucky. Not only one person, but many people in the craft. So they found out what's wrong better than they just take off, but after that, they found out what's wrong with that. So we take it easy, we sit there and wait, but we still have something else to do. To me, not busy doesn't mean we just stay on bed all day. What we learn how to be lazy. We enjoy the moments we have. In our monastery, Sunday night and Monday morning. So Sunday night we call lazy evening. Because every night we do meditation and chanting. But especially on Sunday we take off because I want to bring all the monks and the nuns to have some time for themselves, for their personal things. And if they have time, they can sit together, drink tea and share. So they off from this part, but they're doing something else to build up the brotherhood and the sisterhood. Some Sunday morning or Saturday morning, just the morning of the weekend, the husband and the wife or the family, we can wake up and instead of go out for breakfast, we can stay home, make a cup of tea, a cup of coffee. We can sit and enjoy home. Actually, we have a nice home, but not too much time to enjoy. We go to work, and then after a long day of working, just rushing, cooking, eating, clean up, and we're too tired, we go to bed. Sometimes we spend a little bit more time to do the garden. We flower the water, we water the flower, we water the grass, we cut the grass, we make a nice garden. But do you know who will enjoy our garden the most? The neighbor. Because we put a lot of effort, but after that we're too tired. We have no time to enjoy. So why don't we take, a break? So we are less busy, but doesn't mean we don't do anything. We do something just to please us, to make us feel that we are here in the present moment. So enjoy your garden. Enjoy your home. Enjoy the presence of your loved one. Sometimes we stay in the same home, but we don't have time to talk. We want to, leave any message. Most of the time we send a text. So if we have time to sit and talk, more feelings. Sometimes we talk and we work with the technology more than we contact between human and human. So if there is time to contact between human and human, always more feelings, more in touch. So that's why sometimes, most of the time, I go downstairs at the dinner time. Sometimes I don't need dinner, but I know that all my young monks, they arrive home after school. So that is the only time that I'm able to sit with them. So I will spend time, go downstairs, and then to sit there and dinner with them. And I enjoy the presence of them. And I can see what are they doing. So I can give them the advice right at the time we eat, after we eat. So we know to use time reasonable. Or sometimes we know to stop this one to do something else. We always have things to do, but we know what are we doing. And look like we're busy, but actually we're not busy at all. We are working, but we are no rushing. We know how to enjoy. So I hope that after we understand the practice, even you work whole day, but when you reflect back, I have done my day with most of the things I want to be done. It's done. I still have a good health to continue what I want to do. I still have enough conditions to help me to finish what I want to be done. So many conditions to help you. And even you have a busy day, but are we happy that after everything we look back and we know that everything's settled? For example, this evening, even things very gentle, very simple, but we still have make time to make this day possible. They still need to spend time to set up the stage, everything around. Or they make some food, some refreshments. We understand, and we have something to do for this day. And we look around and we see that everyone enjoy. Happy enough. But we're angry. Most important is when we do things, not to be angry with what are you doing, because by everything we do, we bring benefits for others. We're doing this because of the sake of others. I have a busy schedule in Ontario. My day starts at 7 or 5 a.m. and I finish around 1 a.m. on the next day. 5-6 days ago. And right now in Canada, the weather is not as nice as here. It's so, to me, when I came here this morning, it's like in Edmonton, it is summertime. Nothing that you call fall, because in my city or in other places in Canada now it's quite cold. And then most of the months, when the weather changes, we're not well. And I also not well in the past few days. But that doesn't mean that I can declare that I'm sick. I cannot come out for, the lecture or anything. But I know how to take good care for my health, that at least I have enough health to finish my job. So therefore, today when you're practicing mindfulness, or when you understand the true practice, doesn't mean we stop everything and just sit there for nothing to call not busy. We always have things to do. But we are not angry with what we are doing. It's 50% less of what we call busy. Sometimes things very simple, but we don't know how to organize. We become busy. We become frustrated because we don't know how to organize things in order. That's why we have a checklist, right? What you want to buy, just write it down. And then that will help you to buy things on your grocery list and list to do. We should know who we are. I'm not a person that able to slow down. I always panic with things around. Then try to help us with something that able to lessen your panic. Make your checklist, be prepared. Or sometimes we know that we are slow, then we can take 5-10 minutes before. So we know how to adjust still in 24 hours. Still in the time that we need to be. But everything will be fine. That is called meditation. So meditation doesn't mean we only sit on the cushion. But we know, be fully there in the present moment. Be fully there for something you do. It's called meditation. So yesterday, there's a lady who asked me, we're always busy. And do we know when we need to stop? I told her, I have a whole table of food to offer you. Do you know when to stop eating? When you get full, because you are the one who know yourself. Sometimes we stop. Doesn't mean it's bad, but we stop just to make everything much better. When we argument, somebody not argue back. They very calm and listen to us. But if we know how to stop on time, don't take advantage, explode and talk too much. When they out of their control, they will turn back and attack us. And in that case, we both got injured. So when we're angry, we have the right to talk, to express, but not to explode. Because when you explode, things will be burned. But when we express, people got to know us more. So we have the right to share. But if we use over the rights, then things will be different. Mindfulness helps us to see all of this in daily life. So when we set up, when we have the light of mindfulness within us, we still do everything in daily, but everything becomes so light. Light, two meanings, bright and not too heavy. We bring the light of mindfulness to shine in the job, things we do, everything easy, and everything so brightly, because we know how to make this become beneficial for many. When you stop talking, or we stop moving, we bring the light of calmness. So sometimes we are helping somebody and we know they take advantage of us. And the more we help them, the more we are unable to help them, then we also can stop. So in this practice, we don't talk about when to stop or not to stop, but we know how to stop, when to stop, how to stop, who to stop. The light of mindfulness able to help us in this. So I encourage, we take about 10 minutes to practicing sitting meditation of 50 minutes. Just go back to your conscious breathing, because this is a time to return ourselves. When we're angry, the more we explode, sometimes we over-explode. But when we come back to ourselves, we know what to share. Why we're angry? Because somebody did not make things right as the way we want. That's why we're angry. So we want to correct them. Why don't we talk nicely as the very beginning? They can understand us right away. So sometimes the way we talk is more important than the thing we want to talk. Sometimes things we want to talk is very simple, but the way we talk is not simple. That's why we make things become seriously. Life is simple. If we know how to simple everything down, even something very major, they still become simple. Simple doesn't mean we don't care, but at least at first, we don't make people panic, scary, and explode. Everything will slowly solve by the calmness within us. Everything will be solved. But with meditation, we solve things more simple, more easy. So when you want to know, am I correct or not? Bring your mindfulness up. Make the problems become less problems. Make less problem become no problems. And that is how we practice in our daily life. So the world is still going on, but we don't make it as a mess. Everything we can bring in and decorate. But if we leave everything around without organize, we call busy. Sometimes you enter a room and you say, oh, your decoration looks so busy. But with the one who knows how to organize, still everything there. But they know how to hang up, put at that corner, later on everything go back to the right place, look nice and beautiful. We don't know how to put things together. We don't know how to arrange things. That's why we call busy. So today, when we talk about how to be calm in the busy world, doesn't mean we can do anything to make this world no busy. But we know how to make things as easy. We're still busy, but not too busy. We're still working, but we are not make things become, our work become problems. With the mindfulness, we're able to make things more beautiful. With mindfulness, with the mind of calmness, you can bring things around with your calmness. When you talk to somebody, they can be able, they are very calm. Even you angry, you upset, but later on, the energy of peace, of calmness within them, able to calm us down. Thank you for your listening. Thank you for your attention, attending this evening. I hope that we all have something to do, but with the mind of calmness, we still finish everything on time, but we don't call everything around become busy, problems. But if there is a problems, with mindfulness, we're able to make us less problems. With the less problems, with mindfulness, we're able to make us no problem. We live in this life with the practice of care. We don't live with careless, or we don't live with no care. Sometimes we're so angry and we say, I don't care. But actually, we are very need care. If nobody caring for us, we'll be lonely. But if somebody caring for us, we should know that that is our pleasure. So enjoy the care of this world, of your loved one, because those are all from their love, their understanding. If they do understand you, that's why they bring their care to support you. Without their caring, we cannot live up to this moment. I always feel appreciated and happy and pleased because everywhere I go, I still can meet, my good brothers, my good sisters, and a lot of friends that love me and they give me a lot of support. Without their caring, I cannot travel around and I cannot make things that I want to be. I want to do, but I need their help. So we want to do something, we still need help, right? Without the helping, we're unable to finish anything. So after that, we can see that This is the world of working. This is the world of busy. Is busy or not, it depends on how we see. So he can see the calming and the busy. When you are not calm, then you become busy. When you have calm enough, it's not busy. So this is the practice. It's not about the philosophy. You need to do this, to do that. Once the root is stable and strong and healthy, we can see beautiful leaves, beautiful branches, beautiful flowers, and beautiful fruits. As long as we have a strong and healthy root of a tree, we will have a healthy branches, beautiful flower, and delicious fruits. When we water the tree, we don't need to water the branches, the leaves, just water the roots. So same thing, that our calmness inside of us is the root. We go back to the root, take good care of the root and everything around beautifully, delicious, and people can enjoy the flower and the fruit that we offer for life. Thank you so much for your practice and your listening. May you enjoy your evening and your weekend.
Hello. Hi, everyone. I'm Tom Shadyac. Thank you, Todd, for inviting me. Thank you, Thai, for your teaching. Thank you for your presence. I wish I had what you call magnetometer to measure the energy in the room before Thai and Peter spoke and after Thai and Peter spoke. And I bet those waves were a little more hyper, and then because of the presence of this man and this voice, Pastor Turner, come on in. How are you, my friend? Bless you. I bet that electromagnetic reading would be a lot calmer. So thank you for your presence, Thai. This is Pastor Turner. Would you two like to say hello to each other? So, I wish I had my alarm clock with his voice. I think my day would start better. I wish my Siri had your voice. Pastor Turner, I know you came a little late because you had meetings, but were you able to hear the good man? Yes, beautiful. Were you always this way? As a child, when did the doctor slap you and you forgive him? When did this calmness become? I know it's a practice. What was it like for you to grow into the presence that you are?
Of course, as you mentioned, that is the practice, but this is also become your breath. The calmness just become like your breath. When you breathe nice and calm, your body also nice and calm. So turn your action just like your breath. Without your calmness breath, you're so tired. The more you explode and angry, your breath is very hard.
Pastor Turner, what is the breath's place in the Judeo-Christian tradition?
Well, I mean, Hebrew rock, we speak of it in Greek. another terminology, but let me just say that the value of interfaith dialogue, that there is much that practicing Christians could glean from mindfulness. In such a busy world, even when we gather for worship, when we prepare to read sacred text, and I ask our congregants to turn to a certain passage, they're picking up the very thing that's distracting them from being present to the moment and present to God. And so I've come tonight and really been encouraged, enlightened about how mindfulness is something that can be embraced without regard for whatever faith tradition you come from, as it helps to quiet the noise that often distracts us from those things that are holy.
I have found that the Christian mystics that I have followed always find Christ energy in the East as much or more as they do in our churches. Thomas Merton, of course, going over to the East, Martin Luther King, building a bridge in the East. So this interfaith dialogue is really, really valuable. Do you do this a lot? Are you able to have dialogues with interfaith? What are the commonalities that you two see? Of course, we talk about meditation. There are different forms, but what are the commonalities that you see between our faith that can build bridges and see that we're all one in this grand thing called life?
When I use my words to express my heart, so the word is only a temporary thing in order to help you to understand me. But when for example, if I have some language that I'm unable to express, you can see my action. So everything is same thing from the bottom of the heart. When I sweep the floor, when you sweep the floor, and you know this is a very dusty floor, and we should use the broom nice and gentle, because we want to clean this, but we don't make the mess. But if you use the broom too fast, too hard, you're unable to clean, but you make this room a lot of dust flow around. So live your life just like you sweep the floor. Be gentle on everything. And I think, we have different ways to express things. But when we come to the destination, it's only one word: peace. Beautiful. Only peace. You sweep the floor the same. I sweep the floor the same. But because we have the same idea, don't make the mess. We want to sweep the floor and make all the garbage away, the dust away. We don't want to make the wall of dust, but we want to purify the wall of dust.
I think in the 21st century, we've allowed faith to become very political. We rarely see the commonalities. I think the Abrahamic faith traditions, prayer, meditation, fasting, some form of giving to those in need are commonalities that you see in all of those traditions. And as he just pointed out, I think each one of them are aiming in this world that we live in, trying to get towards a place of peace, right? Peace with God, peace with those who we are in community with. And so I think the importance of these kind of discussions, particularly in these times where faith has been weaponized to divide, to speak more about what and who we are against, rather than us leaning into it pointing us to the divine and then seeing our commonality as members of the human family.
These are the kind of people that I believe ought to be leading our culture. So what we have, Thai, Pastor, is a culture that is being led by people who are brilliant at something, but they want to sweep the floor very fast. Because the mantra of today's age is cheaper, faster, better. It's not quieter, more peaceful, more present, more communal. This is why I believe that our leaders are out of their lane. I believe they ought to stay in the tech lane and be brilliant, and people such as this can lead us as a culture into healthier relationships and how to use those technologies. So I'm just curious for both of you, especially for the East. This is the voice that we hear in the West a lot. And it's that voice that you mentioned is the voice of distraction. Hey, you're not this if you buy that, if you move faster. How do you engage or encourage people to engage with what we're all dealing with, I think, as a practical way now to move in the world?
I'll begin by saying that in some regards we need a digital detox in this culture. So much of our lives is lived on our devices, and it distracts us from those things that are most meaningful. Being present with those who we love, living with an awareness of the divine. And so in some regard, we need a digital detox. Sometimes I tell our congregants, hey, for a month, I need everybody to come off social media. And I hear people talk about how much more present they are with their families, how much time they have to do some possibly reading for deferment that they possibly have just been doom scrolling. So I think pulling away from the cell phones, the binge watching, streaming applications is necessary for us to really get reconnected, not only back to God, but to the people that we love and that we're in community with.
To my practice, even you open your eyes and play with your phone all day, but when you want to sleep, you should turn the lights. At least your phone, the lights is no longer there. Otherwise, it's too bright. You cannot sleep. And even you want to sleep, you have to close your eyes. So the most thing that you want to be is you still need to be calm. If you try too fast, then you may got into accident. When you got into accident, everything will be delayed, not only that moment. So sometimes we worry that we're late, but we forgot about the careful of the driving. We may delay a lot of things, or even we cannot do anything else that we want. So in the practice, doesn't mean we reject anything, but be very careful and mindful on things we do, so we can bring more benefit, and that's stable. Remember, everything in this life, there is a price to be paid. But if there is a price that is worth to be paid, then you will never regret to pay that much, but you know it's worth. But if even 25 cents you have to pay for something it's not worth, you still feel uncomfortable. So in the practice here, in Buddhism, we don't reject anything, but be mindful on things we use. So make sure everything stay strong, stable, and solidity.
This is what I love about your practice and what I love about the Buddhist tradition. I listened to a number of your talks today, as I knew I would be meeting you tonight, and you emphasize that we have to move. We have to, I make movies, the root word of movies is move. And that moving in the world is important, but how we move is what he is emphasizing, which I think is beautiful. We don't reject the brilliance of these people who are coming up with devices that can bring so much good to the world, but it's how we move with those devices that's important. So I had the pleasure of being in the room with the Dalai Lama a couple times, and he told a story, and I tell it very quickly to see because so often what we tend to do is put our spiritual leaders on pedestals. And even Jesus in our tradition said, what I do, you can do it greater still, inviting us into the beauty of the divine power and dance. So to humanize both of you, I tell you what the Dalai Lama said, because someone asked him a similar question, how do you bring peace to every moment? And the Dalai Lama said, I struggle with mosquito. Said, first mosquito, I give some blood. Second mosquito, this big problem. Third mosquito, in trouble. So I'm asking each of you, because again, our tendency is to feel the beauty of your peace. I can feel it in 2 minutes with you. Do you struggle? Are there mosquitoes in your lives that you struggle with? You say you have a busy schedule. I'm sure you do as well. What is it that you struggle with, that you have to remind yourself, catch yourself, stop yourself, to bring peace to your devices and gatherings? By the way, I just realized the word vice is in device, so just keep that in mind. Is it lust?
No, I think some of the things I struggle with are the very same things that my congregants struggle with. Highly functioning people, and I can fall prey at times to being a highly functioning faith leader and not being aware of God's presence, not practicing Sabbath as a weekly practice. I think about the life of Christ here on earth, that he would often pull away from the crowds. He would rise early in the morning and go and pray. The reason why Judas knew he was going to be in the Garden of Gethsemane was because he went to that place frequently to pray when he was in Jerusalem. And so I think at times, even as I'm leading others in their faith walk, that at times I can deplete myself and need to be refueled. And one of the most powerful moments I've had this year, my wife and I and some of our congregants were in Abu Dhabi. We went to that great mosque and went into the men's prayer room, and just the reverence and the awe just reminded me of something I want to feel on a more regular basis. So not only pointing people to the way, but allowing myself to experience it.
In our daily life, when we are practicing, we are not trying to only focus to the positive, and we try to run away from negative. But you're able to have enough mindfulness to be there for both positive and negative. When you are sitting meditation, sometimes we try not to move. But what about you feel itchy? So there's nothing wrong to do this, and then you go back to meditate. As long as in that moment, you know what are you doing. So Dharma doesn't mean only the Buddhist teachings. When you're facing the problems, and you know how to make this problem become better, it's called the Dharma. So everything can be a lecture. I have talked to many young friends when they have problems, and they suffer about their past, their younger age. And I told them, when you have the intent to regret, that's good. But don't just regret, but we don't move on. So I told him, instead of give up, move up. We have the word give up, but we also have the word move up. Use any words that make you happy and move on. Don't run away from anything or try to reject something and accept something. Be there for anything when they arrive. And that is the most important in our daily life.
We were supposed to open it up to questions. I'm not sure if we have the time. I want to ask one more question, but Todd, you'll tell me. One more question, right? Yeah, because he has to do another Dharma talk in Vietnamese to the Vietnamese community after this. I'll be at my house. I'll be doing the Lebanese Dharma talk, which no one will attend. So here's a question that I think someone may have asked, and knowing our culture today. First of all, I wish a Canadian could run for president. I would start the campaign now. But because we don't have that, we don't allow that, what is it that you all can tell us again in the hardest question, maybe in your own simple, wise way? How is it that we can help to heal the divide that is happening in our world, where we're not singing, I am free, I am free, we are singing, I am Democrat, I am right, I am Republican, I am right, you are wrong, I am good, you are bad. What can you offer us so that we can, in our own little communities and worlds, ripple out an effect that just might make a slight difference that could maybe make a bigger difference?
I think for me, the fundamental belief that's in Genesis, that every human being is created in the image of God, is something that we've lost. It's something that we need to reconnect with. I think that would, if you really believe that every individual, regardless of their race, their color, their gender, all of the diversities, I think it would change many of the policies. It would change what we're negotiating in geopolitical conflicts, because we would see that this person is not, it doesn't matter whether they're in whatever category, what matters is that this person reflects the image of God. And if we honor that, we want to see them flourish, we want to see them thrive, we wouldn't want to see suffering, misery, we wouldn't see an opportunity to do good and not do it because it's not politically expedient. And so I think in this nation, where at least a lot of people are culturally Christian, if we just return to that core belief, I think it would help us to deal in a much more positive way with the chaotic world that we're living in right now.
I remember when I was in junior high and then learning some math. And we have the answer at the back of the textbook. But our teacher will never allow us to look at the answer before we try to solve the problem. So try to solve the problem first before you look at the answer. So life just like you know there is an answer, just because you did not make it right yet. But with your careful and your learning, you will solve your problem. So every problem can be solved as long as you know step by step. And this is what we can keep in mind. Every single step we make, we know we are not arrived there yet, but we know that we're close to. Just like we are driving on the way, we want to drive from there to another place. We see the kilometers less and less. We're not there yet. We know that we're on the right track.
Well, thank you both very much. Todd, thank you for setting this up, for inviting everyone. Let's all try to do
Before we go, can I offer a song? Happiness is here now. I would like to offer you a song, and you can bring this song home. Happiness is here now. I have dropped my worries. Nowhere to go, nothing to do. No longer in a hurry. Happiness is here now. I have dropped my worries. Somewhere to go, something to do, but I don't need